and record back on without having to dump the whole stream.
Yeah.
Hey everybody! For those listening on YouTube, following us along on YouTube, today is episode 6 bonus session, as it happens to be Vero's birthday! And we're going to have a reprisal of her birthday song.
For the 6th of the 6th.
Take it away, Plucky.
Well, I gotta sing this. Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, I thought. You know what? I was sat there. It's like, wow, he's taken the audio. He's got the recording. He's just gonna play it. I'm just gonna listen to myself sing it. Like, I'm not sure if I want to hear myself again. But wow, just straight.
No,
cold.
that was a bit of a pluck.
Was that
show.
optimistic? I'd say
about cold calling.
Yeah, gee. Oh, there we go. I wish you'd give me some warning. This is your revenge, right?
Plucky.
I'm like, that's actually hampering the whole thing. Like, Elfbot, lay down some fat beats.
Oh, what do you want? What kind of fat beats do you want?
Like something appropriate to the song that I'm going to be singing. For you, babe. Especially for you.
Oh, I'm going to have to go find an instrumental version of it, aren't I?
Well, just in your music collection,
or,
just a good...
Or a wild suggestion, we jump straight in, guys.
I mean, that works too, but, I mean, do you not want your birthday song? Is this what we're going with?
Yeah.
Remix version, bae! Oh! Brighten up the universe, who will casually introduce a fact, bae? Ships aren't only a romantic place if you give her enough space, bae. Who's always down for a apocalyptic spat, bae? Here she comes to brighten us up. Intellectually supreme like a badass queen, bae. Cunning plans that increase lifespan. Sorry, Baldrix is bae. Sorrow to rage, he's the star of the stage. Amusing accolades and spades. A hoot to boot, ready to be brave. Slight eye for baddies, but hey, that's bae. Always a joy to have in the game. I can't sing very well, but from Wild Grey Mask to Vinny Jade, you rush to cheer up. Give me a B, give me an A, give me a Y. Happy birthday, bae!
Woo! Thank you so much.
You get that.
Oh.
And that's it for today's session. Thanks everyone for watching. Kalis gets no experience.
No, he gets dragon experience.
I'd love to buy some dragon charms.
No, because you could buy solar charms with that.
Can you?
Well, the only thing that dragon charms can't buy, dragon experience can't buy is dragon charms. Since you're not a dragon blooded, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That is very true. But I am thinking that this day's last time falls to Plucky.
Let's get some more serious music on for that, eh?
Hasn't Viridian Skies written something? I'm pretty sure that was... She had one job, folks, which was to recap for us. What, is she on holiday? What? Oh my god, did one of our players kill her? We didn't realise?
All these questions and more on This Last Time by Plucky.
Last time on Invictwitch. It was a sullen affair, as the castle was deathly silent. Shades of people's beings separated under a mist that had enchantedly separated people's souls from their bodies, leaving them dead but not quite dead. Sagacious Hand comes face to face with a imposter? Mimic? Clearly another Sagacious Hand holding a knife above Jonathan's defenseless body, threatening to, separate him from the mortal coil permanently. They managed to convince Sagacious hands imposter to pause for a second, and while they try and make reasonable conversation with him, a tooth attached to, like, I don't know what it's attached to, folks. Like, I like to imagine, like, you know, blood vessels and stuff, shoots out and, like, hits the, what we're calling offhand to avoid confusion. Like, imposter hand, offhand, gets flung out of a window. But, Sagacious hand is, like, dismayed by this and runs and dives out the window, tries to catch offhand but fails, and so has to resort to more drastic methods. Spearing down to catch him using the momentum, wraps him up in a cloak, funeral shroud. Whatever happens, both offhand and Sagacious hand are bundled together, plummeting to the earth. At the last minute, Sagacious hand maneuvers it so he takes the full force of the blow. Meanwhile, the monstrosity composed of flesh, meat, and bone attacks the others, covered in grease. Eventually, a fight ensues where it gets caught on fire and ends up setting Arthur Shasta on fire as well. Johan, I mean, is good with fire, so I think he was fine. Don't worry, folks. We don't harm familiars in this show, probably. After, like, a break from shoving a castle, Kalis' bro moment with Jonas is interrupted by a plummeting parcel of Sagacious hand and offhand. He was, like, slightly optimistic that it was food because he could smell smoke, and smoke means food, right? He unravels the bundle to find two Sagacious hands, worried that they might be dead. His fears are relieved when he hears moaning, and pain means moaning, and moaning means still alive, so he's quick to catapult in action and scale up the castle room to get into a scene of a blazing inferno as Shasta's on fire. Everything's on fire. Now, Kalis knows a few things. That fire is bad, so he puts out the fire with a massive inhale, sucking out all the oxygen, temporarily denying the flames. Meanwhile, Shasta and Jay Phoenix, who I'm not going to out because obviously that's Shasta's territory, make handy and short work of the meat monstrosity that we're not allowed to call Meat Man, which is obviously like Meat Man, right? So, and then there is a moment of peace, I imagine, tranquility, before creation snaps in on itself and the Shadowland contracts. We've successfully fixed the Shadowland, but we find ourselves awaking in a, like, desolate, barren place, which is told to be like the underworld or something, which is a surprise to us. There's not much happening there. There's, like, a weird crater, and there seems to be, like, all this shadow energy coalescing into what seems to be a proto-form of a Heartstone. Exciting stuff. Obviously, Shasta and Denova are very happy by this and going to investigate. Kalis holds hand, and Tiala and Jonas are reunited. But will it be a loving family reunion, or will it spell disaster for the heir to be? Question mark. The group splits up with Jonas, Sagacious Hand, Kalis, and Jade Phoenix going off to, like, return to the land of the living in creation, while the rest stay behind to guard this Heartstone and manse that is forming in this quite creepy underworld. As they awaken creation and the sun rays welcome them to the land of the living, unexpectedly a tooth appears from Jonas and strikes Jade Phoenix inside the head, rendering her unconscious. I think that's pretty much everything.
That's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Clap, 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 clap.
I think not Jade Phoenix, I think Viridian Skies does a way better job, so bring back those published articles, folks. so I'm excited to get into it.
So, like, I need, like, at least a week to prepare those, because they're, intensive. So if we keep doing bonus sessions, I won't be able to do them.
Just take whirling brush method, dude, and write faster. It's like a first level charm.
So Sagacious Hand and Kalis Kudan stand on the edge of the 1,022 steps. Tarala crashing to the ground. A split in her scalp, sort of as she crashes against the ground, the blunt end of the tooth slamming into her head and pushing her over. Jonas looks up, terrified at what had just happened, staring at Tarala's fallen form, before taking a cautious look up towards Kalis and Hand.
Sagacious Hand is immediately going to go to Tarala, as opposed to the enemy. So the lunge forward of JP, to grab her and try and catch her before she smashes to the ground. A hand on her head.
She's limp in your hand, in your arms, but not lifeless. You don't have the medical knowledge to assess her any further than that.
Just to let you know, Elk, the stream keeps on freezing up, apparently. It seems to be working fine on mine, though.
It says I'm uploading at about 6 meg, although I do have 3.3 drop frames. I don't know why. We'll just need to keep going for now. There's nothing I can do about it from here. Kalis.
Is the tooth nearby? Like,
It's fallen the wayside next to Tarala.
I'm gonna pause in case Kalis wants to do anything. Otherwise, I'm just gonna start freaking out and yelling at him. I'm going to grab the tooth and yeah, like, what the hell? You promised until the calamity was over, like holding the thing. Like, is it? I don't know. Like, is it an investigation role? Like, is it? I'm trying to remember, but he was nowhere near the creature. So how has he gotten it?
He was there when you fell and hit the ground.
Yeah, he was.
Kalis.
Do you have investigation?
Nope.
You could do a really bad investigation if you wanted.
You know what? Read intentions. Like, the level of stupidity to to attack Tarala. Like, he hasn't killed her, but she is now unconscious. So that's 2 out of 3 people who are pretty unable to fight right now. So it'd be almost 1 versus 1. So what on earth is he hoping to gain from this? So read intentions.
Make a roll. I'll give you a 1-point stun.
Okay. I need to... Sorry, just gotta find the dice roller. There we are. 2 times.
Right now, his intention is to leave this scene with his life intact. He takes a few steps back and puts his hands up warningly. I swear, this isn't what it looks like.
Why would you hurt your own kin?
I wouldn't. I swear it.
What is that tooth?
I don't know.
What's the case?
It's from the creature from last night.
But
It's the thing that impaled me.
But when you got impaled, Jonas was outside with me, helping with the castle. Is there two of these creatures? Kayla eyes Jonas warily.
He backs off a little more.
If you try to run, I will have to give chase. And it will only make you seem more guilty. At least that is what the wise elders of the village said to me.
I'm no fool. I've already been framed once. I shan't be framed again.
What have you been framed for?
He kicks the ground, and that sort of slate of rock pops up. As he starts to slide back down the steps.
If you run now, Jonas, our friendship will mean nothing. So as a friend, I ask you to stay.
I can't take that chance. Not with the likes of you. And he rockets down the hill, leaving you alone with Tirala on the ground.
Wow. Has he still got the book? Has he run off with the book as well?
That's what I was thinking, and I'm like, character going to be remembering or thinking about the book at this point, or is it just like Tirala's on the ground? Ah. I'm at -4.
Do I not gotta like persuade roll against him to like try and convince him?
We can try and roll, but he will willpower out of it.
Wow, what a douche. He's a little bit like upset about that. He thought he made a new friend. Is she okay, Chieftain?
She's breathing. She's probably going to have a hell of a headache, but she's alive. I don't understand. He promised that he would help until the calamity's over, and like, was the Shadowlands the calamity? Is it now that it's gone that... Was I wrong? I didn't trust him, but I didn't think he'd hurt her, not like that, but...
Well, there is either more monsters in this kingdom, which is a possibility, or something weird is going on. I mean, he was outside with me, helping me move the castle when the weird creature made of meat and bone was attacking the others upstairs, and a fire broke out. And if you say that tooth came from that monstrosity, then maybe there is two. Do they hide in human form? Miss Sarah! Oh. I guess we are just going to have to rely on our own wits.
And with Tirala unconscious, we're not able to get a message to anyone.
No, this is maybe that was the point. Maybe he knew the capabilities of his niece and wish to stop us sending out warnings. We must move with great haste, my friend. You must secure the ambassador.
Ah, he's got the book. Damn it! I gave him the book, thinking that if it wasn't in our party, then if Jonathan's got anything out for us, he's not going to attack a monarch.
It will be fine, my friend. I have faith in your improvisation in these situations. Now come, I must carry you both down the steps, if you wouldn't mind counting, though. I feel that we, Yes, I feel we should stop in on the shrine on the way down, though. That might make sense, as it's already part of our way, huh?
I agree. And head to Righteous Lotus as quick as we can.
Absolutely.
Oh god, and Mason. It just starts listing all the people
We should
stuff in the castle.
We should talk to Mason and the ambassador and let them know what's happening. Mason is a true servant of this kingdom, and he should know. At the very least, we owe him that truth. Perhaps not the... I do not wish to bring up the subject of Phoebus again with him, because he has already found some sentiment of peace, but... So we proceed to the shrine. Yeah, I'm unsure what to do except to jump on Kalis' shoulders to... I'm carrying both of you. Like, I'm basically cradling you both in my arms because I'm giant and really strong, so it should be not even a problem.
So
as we walk...
You're just walking down the hill?
As we're walking down the steps, I'll say to Sagacious, it's funny that you would say I would not be framed again. I am not the best at discerning others' lies. I find that true character shines through in the end, and so I do not know which is genuine, his loving embrace of his niece, him helping us, or him actually like a mantis waiting to strike, pretending to be something it's not until the last second. Are we just insects to be toyed with in his mind, or are we, or have we, fallen for an illusion?
I was so angry last night when Tarala isn't my blood. It's whatever decision she makes regarding her family, regarding her kingdom, it's not mine to make for her, but when just the open arms and, you know, I'm so glad you're alive, and then about wonderful family reunions, playing a family reunion song, just, I was there. I saw the flying lances that were heading right for her. And so now I don't know whether my own memory of the events is right or wrong. Is the way that I saw things influenced her? I'm not exactly a reliable judge on what actually happened that night. So I don't know whether to believe him or not, but everything I've seen other than shoving me off for being anathema, he has been nothing but charming and helpful, you know, right up until he knocks his niece unconscious. So
I don't, I was about to say I do not regard everybody as friends, but I kind of do. But still, in my heart, it says that I still do not want to give up on him. But we will wait and see. I think it will be...
He could have killed her and he didn't. He could have killed her.
It is not easy to kill one of the dragon-blooded. Maybe he was trying to. I do not know.
No. Sagacious hand, like, shakes his head, like, no, I looked into his eyes. He I don't think he did.
Then we will look after this one. And take on events as they unfurl with the usual flair that we always bring to such occasions.
Which? And like deactivate the artifact. It's like, look, regular mortal without a shirt, but you're wearing Kalis is wearing undergarments.
I'm wearing like probably a tabard of some sort, or like Under Armour clothes, like probably a simple toga type thing, or robe, or like I don't know what they wear underneath. But it's going to be very simple. It's not ostentatious by any means.
Under like breastplate, you'd probably be wearing a brocade, just like a padded tabard, really.
Yeah.
Stop chafing.
Yeah. See, I told you it was about something. They was like, yeah, you're naked now. It's like, not quite, babe. I mean, I don't want chafing. What, these pecs? So, how does the shrine look? Is the
you taking
shrine maiden
with you?
still outside? Yeah. I mean, I figure. I mean, apart from like leaving her in the gravestone, like on one of the things, I think it's probably better we take her with us.
Who's carrying her?
Yeah, I considered.
Me. I've got like ambidextrous and I'm like strength 5, so I figure I could carry both of them. As it's like I figure they don't weigh the same as an ox, but I mean, I would certainly not say that to their face, being, you know, both of them being very proud of their appearance. I feel like they take care about how they look. So I mean, if you want to say it out, I'm not stopping you.
So you're carrying both of them?
Yeah. Do you want me to make a roll?
No.
No. I can lift an ox. I feel like they're lighter than an ox.
You can shove a castle.
Yeah. It's true.
But that requires motes.
One mote and one willpower. It's quite...
It's so intensive. Well, the shrine is intact. Coming down the mountain, you do notice something different about Kaldor City. The normal sort of when you first entered the city, there was like a big throng of people. There was a marketplace out the front. Most of that seems to have disbanded. The great doors have been closed and barred. There is an extra 2 guards at the doors. They've doubled the guard. And when you get down to the shrine, you have the advantage of being able to see these people without them necessarily noticing you, but there is a congregation out the front of the shrine led by King Alexander Marcus himself, Jonathan at his side, and some of the nobles behind him. They seem to be going into the shrine.
Is Lotus there with them?
No.
You were invited to the proceedings. Formica was meant to appear, and it was advised we'd be present. Do we still make that appearance?
I can walk. I'm not going to be great for much if anyone wants to actively attack me, but as long as I don't put up a fight, I don't think anyone's going to hurt me. I can probably bluff my way out of it. If you want to split up, I could head in there and meld. If you want to head and find out what's going on with Lotus and actually get some information and like look into Torella and make sure that she's okay.
I imagine that most shrines to gods at least have some people that, especially fertility, I imagine that they will have somebody that's trained in medicine and the herbs. It makes sense. Like, usually people that bring life into the world know how to keep it alive, at least. So I believe that...
You know, I didn't even consider that, because I know the apothecary died. I didn't even think of the shrine. But thank you. Yeah, they'd also have clothes somewhere probably out the back. Even if it's a Hessian bag, it'd be something.
I am not going to steal you clothes.
No, I'm
the
going to steal
priests.
me clothes.
I feel like that's a little bit disrespectful. Why not ask them? I'm sure they wouldn't mind giving you some clothes. Let's merge in with the crowd. I'm gonna like walk up to the crowd and like try and merge in.
I'm going to hop down from Kaelus's arms and use Spurious Presence. Having spent the night previously applying makeup, it looks like I have no blood and no wounds, so I'm presentable, if incredibly battered and bruised underneath it. So just start wandering in. I believe Spurious Presence costs 5 motes, and it increases my guile to be calculated by my larceny and adds like +2 to any difficulty to question why I'm there. We're just totally dignitaries.
What are people talking about? Are they like murmuring? What's going on? What's the atmosphere like?
I'm getting there.
Ooh, exciting.
You'd like to just sort of jump in with questions just before I start talking, so...
My resting bitch face is now level 6.
Just give it a moment. The people here milled about. You only recognize a few of them from the party. They seem to be discussing the events of last night. That the crew of the ambulance Excelsior seem to have stolen into the castle and killed one of the dignitaries. A woman from Krivia was found dead in her room, mangled beyond belief, barely recognizable. And as you approach, eyes turn to you, looking to Kaelus, the unconscious Jade Phoenix soul over his shoulder.
Cradled in my right arm.
Or cradled in your arm. There are gasps and shouts of surprise as they sort of back off away from you. King Marcus turns, almost whirls. He's not a giant like Kaelus is, but he wields the command of his presence with all of the bearing he is due here in his kingdom. Jonathan meekly steps behind his father, not really looking at them. You, he says, accusatory. So you finally show your cowardly faces.
Kaelus looks at him, Chieftain of Caldor, with all due respect, I respect that you are chieftain of these lands, but where I come from, calling people a coward is a grave insult. Do you intend to insult me as such?
What would you call murdering a defenseless woman in her bed chambers? Bad enough that you were in there.
I would call it abominable, and a sagacious hand with full performance just slams down the tooth onto the ground like psh, before the crowd. Behold, that which stalks Caldor.
Everyone, like some of the men and ladies in the crowd sort of scream, sort of back up away from what's happening. Nymphea and Arisea react the strongest. They're not sure if this is another performance, but they have been told that you are vicious pirates here to plunder the kingdom, and they're not sure what to believe.
Seeing Hands lay the groundwork, because they often double act in, Kalis will like stride forward. Friends, if we meant you harm, you would know it. We are performers by trade. You have seen our marvelous work. You may remember me from the end of your debut, I believe it is called. And you applaud us. Why have you turned so hostile? Was it, is this the whim of Caldor that you embrace us as friends and cast us away? I heard Caldor hospitality was better than this. Are the stories not true? I would like to do a performance.
Oh, yeah, no, can we need the combo, man.
Yeah.
Combo performance, man. You go. I'll.
So I'm doing kind of like an oratory, although this isn't his like main thing. Obviously, he comes from a storytelling. While he was in Nexus Pit Arenas, often they preface these like great fights with somebody that would read from what now he knows is like a parchment of words. I don't know, story what? Something, and they would talk of these great stories, and this is how they would announce the crowd. And so he's like trying to mimic that, and learn the stories of the Nexus Pits, and this is what he's channeling in this.
Cool. I'll give you a 2 point stun for that one.
Cool. He's going to put in master performance exercise. Oh gosh, Hans, as we're comboing this together, what are we trying to achieve here? Like, what are we instilling? Are we inspiring?
Well, what I'm thinking is someone from Krivia. Do you know who any of the people are? Because at the party?
I met people at the end of the party and wasn't introduced. So
yeah.
no, these are like I know Jonas, or do I know him?
Like someone from Krivia has been mangled. It's like, okay, well, as far as we know, everyone was asleep last night. So I'm going to draw attention to the fact of, it's like no one remembers this because you're about to speak on the truth of the matter. It's like, you know who could speak true, you know who they're coming here to ask. Who are you going to believe? Whoever is telling you that, whoever has decided that it is us who have done such a heinous act when no one was awake at the time to do it, or the god summon her.
I mean, she's going to appear, but I'm worried that Formica may not be on our side out of character, but Kalis has no reason to believe that. So,
wait, you instilled me with a reverence for Formica, so I'm just running with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, are you happy for me to like continue with that down that vein, or did you want to pipe in for the second part of it?
No, that's good for me. Like we've worked together and we have friends. Like we'll just start bouncing off each other. Yeah.
So I guess what we're trying to do is instill like
trust or faith in us.
Yeah, trust in us. Restore trust in us. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I will combo with you as you know, having thrown down the tooth and starting the performance. In the same way that you are inspiring trust with your amazing Kalis Kodan, man who measured by mountains. I have, like, you are uplifting and I am downgrading as I am throwing down the tooth and I am casting away dispersions by our enemies. So I would like to be opposite, as in a inspire distrust of our detractors.
Ooh, that's clever.
Yeah.
I probably want to spend some motes into this. Sorry, Alka.
No.
So I'm spending. 4 motes in total, but one of those would be discounted due to my thing, so I effectively spent 5, but I only spent 4, if that makes sense. So I've gained 4 dice from my excellency and massive performance exercise, and that should be. Ooh, is that? Let me just double check. Does showmanship count as well? So I feel like this is against with a crowd. Yeah, fantastic.
3, 4, 5, 6 times with wait, hang on, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, because that's a willpower spend in that. So I'm dropping my willpower down to 8, and I used 3 motes, so that drops my peripheral down by 3 as well. And I also took a neg 4 for wound penalties.
So I've actually miscalculated because I get some extra dice. So sorry, I'm trying to do mental maths, which is my weakness, folk. One of my many weaknesses. But I think I can add 3 dice with my excellency because I'm already getting some dice adders from master performance exercise and other stuff. So in which case I need to add 3 dice, which means I only need to spend 2 motes, so 3 motes in total. So yeah, fantastic. Gosh, that was difficult. Sorry about that, Elk. That's terrible.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Tooth gets thrown down, your muscles are flexing.
Just a note for myself for later when I'm watching back over this. I'm dropping an awful lot of frames today, and I'm not sure why. It's up to about
is anybody else using like bandwidth in the house? Like, is Steam downloading, or people watching Netflix or stuff like that?
Neither thing are active on my account.
Atticus might be on the iPad. I'll just have to double check later. It's up to about 6% at the moment.
That's fine. That's like.
I'm just not used to seeing it above like 1.
Yes. What was my roll, Plucky? How are you calculating this? I'm doubling it, so that's 14 and 16, and then my 17. Okay, this should be my roll.
We have some inspirational fellows.
Okay then, I get to reroll 1s in there, and I've got some automatic successes banked, so let's reroll that. Oh gosh. Let's do this. I think we're like, we are used to like performing these double acts, so I can imagine like sometimes you get me to like draw in the crowds, because I'm like, wait a minute, have you been using me as like the freak show to like draw people in without me knowing?
No, it's called man bait.
Man bait, okay.
You appeal to everyone.
Wow, okay. I'll accept that, that's a lot better.
He doesn't have that charm yet.
Okay. Oh, what's the appearance? Sorry, I forgot about appearance. What's the average resolve of the crowd?
Average roll of the crowd is 2.
Okay, so 4 dice.
Smash! Anyone got a defining hatred towards me? Because that makes it having just hit the difficulty, maybe.
Okay, so that's 6 plus 2 successes, so that's 8, 9, 10. 10 successes in the end, folks. That didn't feel at all.
That's right. It only took us about 5 minutes to get through that roll.
Half an hour.
We're
going to our first break, folks. So thanks for joining us. I'll also be instilling a feel of you know when you have like when you like fancy somebody and you have that like they can't do any wrong in your eyes, like, oh no, it mustn't be do you know you only see their good side?
Yes.
Would that be an appropriate seductive role? Because I can use my 1,000 coins in way to like to the applicable people to like see me in that light, or is that not within the seductive?
No, that's within seduction.
Cool. So yeah, that's what I'll be also doing at the same time with 10 successes in that.
Your pectoral muscles flex heroically.
It's like, I remember that actor. No, they always harm words. Surely not Kalis Kodan. I remember him being brilliant.
The combination of declarations sort of echoes out, and you can feel the crowd turn. A few of them shoot glances towards Jonathan. Marcus, however, doesn't seem moved as he strides forward through the crowd.
As he strives to approach us, Kalis will say, we have it on good authority. Formica may be making an appearance, and we have been invited by, as I understand it, one of her chieftains or advisors, and so I feel it'd be rude if we did not expect the god's kind invitation to be here at this, unless the chieftain of Cawdor wishes for us to not be present and go against that god's suggestion. I feel like this is more presence.
He looks the tooth up and down. I don't know what grotesquerie this is. But tell me true. Why did you attack my son last night? You were the last to retire, and there was significant damage to his room and its surrounds. Investigations have shown your presence.
Is he talking to me or Sagacious? I did not attack Jonathan, but I did put out the fire that started in the corridor.
So you were there?
I believe we were guests of the castle. I was out and about and helping fix the problem with the Shadowland, as requested.
You were explicitly directed not to enter the royal chambers.
Well, if you wish to find me guilty of entering those chambers, I respect that. I figured putting out the fire and stopping everybody dying in the fire might have been more important, but I do not know the laws of your land. If you wish to punish me for trying to save lives, then I guess I will respect your wishes in this case, but it seems a little bit ungrateful, considering in my tribe, when somebody saves Chieftain's son, it is often rewarded rather than condemned.
Saved him from what?
Friend Kalis, and Sagacious Hand puts his hand upon Kalis's chest. He does not know our ways. He does not know that when darkness falls across the land. One moment. I am going to introduce a performance fact.
Ooh.
Are you now?
I would like to introduce... Is that all right? I'm
Well, it
going
depends on
to
what it is.
ask if I can please... I would like to introduce a performance fact. Now... One moment, let me find it. Okay, so I'm having trouble finding it. I should have brought up more of my things beforehand. Can you just stall for a minute while I find my list of stuff?
Yes, I can stall. So folks, tense situation here.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey. Like, this king's tough. Like, I mean, to be fair, you can understand something's happened. His kingdom's on decline. He has to keep up pretenses. And like, Kalis is still trying to show, I don't know if it's coming across properly and whether this is my acting. I'm trying to show him respect, but also be like, you know, I respect, like, if you want to arrest me for breaking into chambers, like putting out the fires, I'll accept that. It seems a little bit ungrateful from where I come from, but you know,
Like
it's your lands,
he
I
would
guess.
totally arrest you for entering his son's chambers without permission, and there is currently no evidence that you didn't set the fire. In fact, there is evidence suggesting that the fire was set by one of your party members.
That is absolutely true.
Yes, Sagacious
What?
Head.
Has anybody mentioned
Okay,
the cast?
I'm ready. I am ready. I would like to introduce a fact. Now, this is actually in Greek performances regarding the breaking of the fourth wall and the original idea of the stages and the sonnets and poems. And I could go into a whole bunch of actual history for this, but the fact I wish to introduce is that as Sagacious Hen, you know, he does not know our ways. It is something that is known to performers and perhaps those who have seen our shows, an oft-lost secret that when darkness falls across the land and the midnight hour is close at hand, creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell, as he points to the tooth, and rot inside a corpse's shell. We were spared from the darkness that has hit this castle only because from the sheer magnitude of our skill as performers that we could masquerade as the dead themselves. Answer me this. Were any of you awake? Or am I right in assuming when this darkness fell that you did not have were not able to pretend yourself dead to walk amongst? Introduce fact and epic stunting.
As she's doing that, Kalis will whip out his flute and create ominous music that like sets the tone for this like revelations of like ancient horrors talking that as they go. Oh, be careful with that. Like,
nope, that's all you get. You're allowed a sample.
Okay. I will not be doing that because Kalis believes that
Does not know
true artistry.
that Michael Jackson exists in a parallel universe.
That is one of the factors, and like he doesn't think he can like recreate that flute, but he makes an equally impactful song.
You see, the truth is that horror looked them right between the eyes, and they were paralyzed.
Well, that caught me off guard, and I couldn't stop laughing, so I will give you a 3-point start.
Yes! All right.
I swear sometimes.
The power of love compels you. Okay. So that's 2 automatic successes. I'm going to spend a willpower on this. Is this introduce fact and inspire?
No, to introduce fact.
Okay, to introduce facts. So it is, hang on, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 7. I think that's right. Okay, and 2 10s. I also have harmonious presence methodology, if that helps with anything.
Not with introduce fact, it doesn't.
Cool. Okay, so that's
Alright, so
3.
what exactly
5,
was the fact
6.
that you were introducing?
That it is actually well known that if there is any undead activity that happens, performers are able to, like if they have a high enough performance skill, they can masquerade as the dead and be able to walk amongst them unhindered. And what I am inferring and I'm going to infer and sway them to believe that because none of them had the soul, as in the performance level, they have been hit by an evil undead spell that only we have not been. And so we have fought this undead creature, but the fact that the reason we were able to fight it was because we are performers. Therefore, to then increase our trust of, because he's asking why, why has all this happened? It's like, no, all of you were asleep we weren't asleep because we were able to fight it.
Okay. So what exactly are you trying to inspire here? Because you have already tried to invoke trust in him, and he has resisted that.
Yep.
I mean, we don't really.
What I'm doing is upping the ante, because if I'm right, he was asleep and he would have, like, accusing us of something. Everyone was asleep in that castle. So I am playing off the knowledge that, whether correct or not, that no one has any memory. Like, they would have woken up to all of this. So that is what I'm playing off. I am playing off that doubt, that insecurity that I'm hoping is in there with everyone.
I mean, to be honest,
that's what
Okay.
like the fact that he didn't wake up when we moved to castle was pretty like. I mean, that's our like last card in our like ace in the hole, right? It's like, well, if you don't wake up when somebody moves to castle, then you're probably not really sleeping, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You have established, in fact, that it would have been impossible for anyone but you and your cohorts to have been up and moving around at night last night. Because it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Hey, if you take a really cynical view on what she's saying, like,
Yeah,
what she's saying is
I-
only like those of strong like soul and breadth of character can stand against the undead that like threaten the castle at night. That's what I heard. But you know, I mean,
Because his next question is probably very pertinent to what you're saying. So you admit you were there in Jonathan's room?
Yes. And we spared his life. As in, from the darkness.
Perhaps. Then how do you explain the presence of patches of the Krivian diplomat's scalp being found at the scene?
Who's the Caribbean diplomat?
I have not met this person, and we were taken into a Shadowland after we fixed it. I do not understand. What does Afishasta say? Metaphysics? Was it he was something? He uses words that confuse me. But I mean, I could tell you everything that occurred. We could perform it out hands.
The fact remains
Kalis looks like
that you have admitted you were present. We had already determined that you were present. And while Jonathan may have remained unharmed, it appears that the Krivian diplomat was also at the scene. And now we find her dead. How do you explain that?
well, I did not get a great look at the monstrosity that moved through your halls, but it seemed to be made of meat and sinew and stuff. Do you have what is the healers that looked at how was it possible that the creature came from within? Those that hold dark souls may bring forth horrors to this world. It has been said in stories. I mean, I do not know this ambassador, and I can assure you that I did not do such horrible things to her.
Your assurances mean nothing to me, when the evidence so clearly points against you. I would...
So, can I ask a question of you, Majesty?
No.
Well, I'm going to say it anyway. Folks assembled, if we were the only ones that can move through the castle, what would we benefit from killing just one ambassador? What would stop us from taking the whole kingdom? Clearly there was no defenses against our activities that night. So really, you've got to ask, what was our motive for killing some ambassador from a place I have not heard of? And it makes no sense to me. Perhaps you could explain our motives, as I am having a hard time understanding why we set a fire, then put it out, went into Jonathan's room to put some scalp there but not kill him, and did we create that horrible room on the side of his place? I mean, I'm very confused. What do you think we were actually trying to achieve in the night, apart from saving people's lives and fixing the Shadowland that clearly has now been fixed?
What horrible room?
Martha Shasta said that there was a room in Jonathan's where he practiced sorcery and potion making. I mean, I assumed as his father, you would know about that.
So, not only were you in his room, you were snooping about.
I wasn't snooping around.
But one of your party was.
Well, I don't know how they found that information out. I wasn't there.
And you trusted him. Implicitly.
Well, if he says there was a weird room there, then there probably is a weird room there. Kayla shrugs.
And if I say the evidence clearly points to wrongdoing on your part?
Then it seems to me that, you have been misled.
Perhaps we should call for an outside investigator. If, and I'm going to, at this point I'm realizing it is about the, it's no longer about convincing Marcus, though it still is. It's about convincing the crowd behind him. So, like, with what you're doing, like, let's up the ante and have full trust in us and distrust in detractors. Now, this is directly contravening the orders we were given, which is to kind of keep Marcus on the throne.
I don't feel comfortable going.
Yeah, so I need to ask, what do we do here? Do we just like inspire to make sure there is a defining level of trust in us? Because what I'm thinking right now, I'd say, well, clearly, we believe that there has been wrongdoing, not by us, but we've found some evidence that someone might be manipulating your son? ? Except he has a defining tie to his son. So we'd need to overcome that, and we haven't got we're just getting a bad rep here.
I mean,
I think like call in another someone who's on neither side. But then, is there anyone?
I just think we should just get on with like Formica's visit, and then we can like have this conversation afterwards. That's going to be my suggestion. I think we should push for that because I want to know what Formica says. Then I want to find Lotus, and so yeah, like do you feel okay with that hand, or do you want to like?
Yeah, it's like, well, if you feel you have enough evidence to arrest us, or like, would they do like it?
I mean, the problem is they like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they could really like arrest us unless they have some dragon-blooded guards. So
no,
really,
it's more a case of like, because we'd have to go with them.
Yeah. So like, we'd be like, yeah. But do what you're gonna do. But I think like detracting from Marcus is gonna hurt us. We only need to find out who's been saying that. Like, who's our accusers? They're the cowards. You said cowardness was like a bad thing in Cawdor. Then at least have the decency to say who's like saying these abominable lies. Maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, draw out the accusers. It's probably Jonathan though. It's probably Jonathan.
Because who conducted the investigations? Yeah, all good questions. So yeah,
probably the person that put the scalp there. Oh yes, I definitely found the scalp here. I think it was your turn to tag in with that. Like, so.
I don't know how to increase the ante. Do you?
No, I mean, like, I'm just gonna. Shall I just suggest my like plan of like just like we want to.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, you know what? How about a goddess vouching for us? How about a witness?
I mean, I don't trust the goddess, but like, I think we should definitely like have to see.
But we don't know that.
No. Like our character, Kalis is like, sure, should be right. So like, Kalis is like, what was the last thing you said, Alex? Sorry, I got distracted by this.
As this conversation has gone on, Maze of the Uncut Sheath has arrived at the scene and takes special interest in this enormous tooth you've planted into the ground. Sort of slips a hand into her robes and pulls out a few vials and just sort of cups up some of the blood and sinew in it. Adds something from one of her second vials and shakes it around. And holds it up against a third vial as it slowly starts to fizz and change colour until the two vials match. She nods at Marcus, and he looks at you. As I said, I don't know what monstrosity you have performed, but you carry around the very evidence against you.
The very evidence to redeem us. Perhaps witness testimony should be brought into here regarding the actions performed by the mighty Kalis Kodan. Man measured by mountains, and go into the full litany of his awesomeness of the things which he has achieved.
I don't remember that one. Oh yes.
As I like make my way as surreptitiously around the group as I can, like to try and like inspire like their remembrance of all this amazing things that this amazing performer that is Kalis has done, to increase that trust a bit more, but to get their eyes on them, to look at Kalis and like, you know, like just the tap on the forehead, like pray to the god, like we're gonna duo pray to Formica.
Kalis, not missing a beat, will enact a performance ritual to Formica to preface the ceremony, and so we'll dive down. You see, seeds of doubt have been planted against us, and he rakes the ground. But as you see, as truth will grow and the sunlight's nourishing rays will stand proud, which seeds are seeds of truth and which are lies, not to be brought into the sun but to be evaporated by the light of day, where truth holds sway. And just like Formica gives life and fertility, I ask for her to grow these seeds of truth and shine with her wisdom on this, as it is her day.
Are you just praying to her, or are you zenithing her to try and appear?
I don't want to overuse that. Like, I'm just going to pray to her. She's going to appear anyway, so hopefully she will appear.
There's a goddess somewhere here, so I would like to make a persuade roll for her to act as witness of, you know, to speak on our behalf. That, you know, we are like out of character, like we are awesome, we didn't do this. Believe you, you believe your god, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Go and try persuade action and pump as much into it as I can. Like, I can't see gods, it should be here somewhere.
I'm assuming she can hear me.
Alright, Kalis, I will give you a 2-point stun. Hand, I will give you a 1-point
Nice.
stun.
Nice. That's performance exercise, and then. Oh, exercise. Yeah, I'm just gonna base roll. Let's do it. Formica owes me. Wow. That's one of our players right now in the temples. Let's roll these dice, Faye. Let's do this. So that's performance. Let me know. Is my performance showmanship still like applicable, or is it different because I'm
in
like...
this case, no.
No, yeah, that's what I thought.
5 successes total.
What's the resolve bonus from appearance, if I may ask?
2 dice.
Cool. So I'm sinking in willpower. I've got my masterful performance exercise, and I've got my harmonious presence. So that's
Yeah.
7, 9, 12, 14 plus 2 automatic successes.
Yeah, like we understand that you must do your due diligence and how bad this must look against us, and so, oh Jesus, as but men, we ask, for the spirits, those who are ever present around us, the spirit of Kaldor itself, we would hope to be redeemed by, in your eyes, good ladies and gentlemen.
That is 5, 6, 7, 8 successes. And 8 successes on a, romantic intrigue on Formica. Applicable. Who is this mysterious giant that knows who is respectful of our ways? Ooh, mysterious stranger allure. Yeah, mysterious stranger allure. Is it successful, folks?
The ground that Kalis has parted with his hands starts to sprout with small buds. They grow faster and faster, pushing upwards from the ground, twisting together to form one large plant bud. Peels itself open, a rush of sweet pollen filling the air, revealing the form of Formica standing upon the middle. She is tall, with 6 arms, each ending in scythes. She has the abdomen and thorax of a large bug. 4 legs, standing firm upon the ground. A pair of silky wings just rest down along her back, and upon her head rests a martial kabuto, that samurai helmet. The faceplate looking feminine in appearance, with 2 large sets of mandibles punching out its side, forming almost like a larger jawbone. 2 long sheaves of wheat sort of stick out from the top, forming into what appear to be antennae. When she appears with her back to you and stares down ruefully at Alexander Marcus, who drops to his knees, recognizing her from the carvings in the cave that his wife had told him that her ancestors had seen and left records of many years ago. She crouches on all fours, bringing her head down towards his. And then she speaks. No sign of the mask itself moving, but a voice echoing out all the same. Marcus, the sad and tumultuous blade. You have let a sickness into your kingdom, a canker to be excised. Let it fester and devour your people whole. We can see that you wish it expunged. We can see that you gather allies of inquiry. We see that you ignore the cause and bury its vile refuse under the veneer of adoration. We shall do what we can, but the rest is up to you. That's where we'll take our first break today.
Mm.
Ooh.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We're going to take a very quick 10 to 15 minute break, grab a drink, refresh ourselves, and then come back and jump straight into it. Bye!
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hello, everybody, and we are back from our little break, ready to continue. So, last we left off, Formica had appeared. Marcus had fallen to his knees, recognizing her. She had given out a declaration that she understood that he wanted to fix what was wrong, but that he was ignoring the cause. After her declarations, she turns to you. I have heard your call, and the call of your friend. Unfortunately, my time here is short. You must come to the tree. There I can explain everything. It is not for mortal ears. She crouches down again as the petals form back up over the top of her, and the plant ungrows in reverse.
No.
Sinking back down to the ground.
That was not helpful.
That was very helpful. Now that we have cleaned up that matter, we have to prepare for our journey to the tree. Excuse us, chieftain, but we must prepare for our
Marcus
journey to the tree.
looks stunned and not sure what to do or say. Jonathan finally plucks up the courage to speak. But you're under arrest. You can't leave.
I think that this is a common problem that seems to be happening on these lands. Your shaman should have told you this, but when a god speaks to you this way, you don't disregard what it says. Clearly, we have to go to the tree. Now, if you want to have some sort of hands, help me out here. What are they called when they put the guards and the places they put you and?
The sagacious hand smiles. The young prince is right. Perhaps we should be escorted by him to the location, as to ensure that nothing untoward happens to anything. But I have him, Jonathan, come with us. I'm pretty damn sure this kid is not, like, mortal. I'm pretty sure that his family are god-blooded, and so that makes him half god-blooded. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, young prince is right. He should come with us. We cannot disobey the god, but we would never dare to trespass against the monarchs of this land. So Jonathan should come with us. Persuade.
Make you
I'm going
roll.
to I am targeting Marcus's love for he loves his son, but he also loves his land. So yeah, it's like we'll look after him. He'll look after us.
While Sagacious Hand is doing that roll, Kalis is going to lean over to Maze and ask if she... Maze, do you have a spare robe that we can borrow?
No. I have already given out everything I have to this kingdom's poor and needy. She looks down
Have
at
you?
Tarala in your arms. She looks in need of help. Perhaps I can render assistance.
Mm-hmm. Are you skilled with the arts of healing?
Of course.
Would you be willing to take care of her while we make our journey to the tree your goddess mentioned?
Of course.
How does she, like, seem about, like, does she seem a little bit shooken up? Does she seem, like, very...
Make a read intentions roll.
I am not going to do that. I'm going to ask her, because that's what Kalis would do. Have you seen Formica before, or is this the first time you've seen your goddess?
In person.
Mm.
Looks like our role-playing bot is down again. One moment.
I'll use an external one, shall I?
Yeah, just for the moment. I'll see if I can get Elle to help.
And last time it just rebooted. It might be maintenance, I think. That's what he said. He just, like, disconnected and reconnected.
Okay, on a external one, I have rolled 5 successes, and 1 is in there. If you need that for any charms and stuff.
Jonathan begins to sort of splutter in... not quite outrage, but like... no, I'm not gonna just sort of go off with... And then Amarcus, still on his knees, just slightly inclines his head. Jonathan. Go with them. Take a guard. Jonathan huffs and stamps his foot in indignation. Marches off. Marcus looks up at you. There's a bit of fear, a bit of disappointment, a bit of anger. There's a lot going on, a lot that he doesn't understand. But he has just been chastised by the god of his country. And he doesn't know why. You will leave with my son, as you so desire. And he will return intact. Or I will finish plucking the petals from your little lotus.
With us, that is, I wish to speak to her.
Denied.
Well then, I guess we won't be making that pilgrimage, and somebody's goddess is going to be very angry with the ruler. And Kalis looks at him. Unless you do not respect your goddess. Which clearly I am starting to wonder if your shaman has taught you the ways properly. He looks to Maze and sees what her reaction is.
Leave now.
Kalis makes a motion to the castle. Come, Sagacious, we are going to find some provisions for our journey.
You're quite right. It would be best to get horses and such if we are to make such a journey. Heading directly towards the castle. Come on, Jonathan. Puts his hand out to take little Prince's hand in his.
He's stomping ahead of you.
All right.
Kalis return to the crowd, and you go, my apologies. The performance at the tree is not an act for you, mere mortals, apparently. So, until we meet again, he would do a little bow. I hope you have enjoyed our scenes and wisdom that we bestow from the axe. Turns to hand and like looks to him. It's like, is that what we're meant to do now? Is this the style we're going for? Walks off.
Yeah, like that's like we'd like to leave a good impression with the crowd in our favor. But we don't have all the information. So, any suggestions on how to do that? Like,
It's Jonas amongst the crowd.
No. To get Kel says to get the dice roller to work, you need to exit Discord and re-enter. Just FYI.
okay.
What I might do is just pause for a quick moment until you do that.
I think we all have to. Yeah, I think you need to leave us out. I think the channel has to be empty.
Yeah, I'm doing that
Like
now.
last time. Oh, okay.
Sorry, viewers, just a few moments.
It's not in there. I'm going to try and invite another die, but do.
Alright, Plucky, if you can drag Vay and Elkbot back into the channel. Got a sec.
Testing.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, why's it doing that?
Okay. It doesn't matter, really.
That's alright. Let's just continue. I don't want to bog this down too much. So with Jonathan sort of stomping in a huff before you, up towards the castle, he signals to one of the guards, sort of that he passes on the way, sort of takes up form beside him, marches his way all the way up to the castle, upstairs, and towards the back where the royal suites are. Once you enter the hall, it's Mason who greets you.
Oh, Sir Hand, Sir Kalis, what has happened? I hear such awful things about you.
So have we. What are they talking about? Something has happened to the lady, someone from Carivia?
Yes, the diplomat from Crivia who arrived late last night and was not at the party was found dead in her room, mangled. barely dare to speak of it. Oh, the poor woman. Such terrible things have happened. And they say that you have poisoned another diplomat. Prince has accused you of trying to end the peace talks before they even begin.
Is Soren Medisha all right?
They say he might recover with time, but it is, as they say, a touch and go.
That's interesting, because I checked in on him last night after I heard that there were trouble, and it appears that it isn't exactly touch and go, that it was indigestion more than anything else.
Well, the guards have told us that you barged your way in and accosted the young diplomat whilst he was trying to rest. Mr. Medisha's backed up their claims. I'm afraid it's a lot of voices speaking against you. I am surprised you have not arrived under guard. I should not even be speaking with you, but I felt best to warn you.
Friend Mason, you are very kind to warn us, and I feel honored that your friendship would extend in these most trying times. I understand you must be very conflicted about these, but know that your faith in us is not misplaced, and I am glad to see you okay after last night. It was lots of horrible ongoings. There was a monster that stalked the halls, but we are looking to fix the problem, so worry not, my friend. If you could do me a favor, though, I'd appreciate. Do you know what happened to Ambassador Lotus?
Yes. He sort of looks down and went, the young lady has been taken to the dungeons where she is being questioned about the last night's activities.
Well, I will, would you, I feel very terrible asking another imposition, but do you think you could send some provisions and food for us? So we are journeying to the estate of,
the Tidea estate.
The Tidea estates, and we will need provisions and food for that journey. I'm
afraid I'm not really authorized to offer you any hospitality at this time.
That is fine, my friend.
Understand, the kingdom is in a terrible state at the moment. If it were the better times, perhaps there would be more guards around to enforce the king's will. But as it is, his reach is tempered by the losses we have suffered over the last few years. Terrible, really. If you're going to the estate, you'll have to cross the battlegrounds. The family have not visited in some time since Lady Selena's death.
Do you know how long it will take to reach there and back?
Yeah, it's perhaps just shy of a day's journey by wagon. If you have a stout steed to ride, you could probably make it in a few hours. I do wish you the best. I trust in the two of you, and I cannot believe that you hold company with brigands and thieves. Such a sad affair.
sort of just clutches at his chest a little bit.
It's a little bit too much for someone my age. I'm afraid I must sit down.
Kalis will play a calming tune to try and relax him. He doesn't want him to like get too worked up. So. Do you want me to roll for that? Or?
No, it's okay. Play a nice little calming tune. He seems to breathe a little better and.
My friend, I am going to go and ensure that Ambassador is okay, and I may stop by and drop in friends in the kitchens. And then we are going to see if we can't help your land more. Look to yourself and look after yourself, my friend. I hope to have a chat with you after this is all done.
Perhaps.
On the way out, Sagacious Hand is going to ask one of the serving maids if they wouldn't mind bringing Mr. Mason some warm rosemary tea. He remembers that Miss Sarah was saying that rosemary helps against people like fatigue. So perhaps if he is starting to feel not well, rather than making him like he can rest but not feel fatigued, to try and give him his strength back. So calming rosemary tea.
Cool. Hand, I'm going to give you your expression bonus. Kalis, I'm going to give you your roll bonus.
Yay!
Yay! Who's Solas? Where's Solas?
If I know Lotus Hand, she will probably try and put on a brave face. We should make sure we have some food and water for her, just in case they have been depriving her and been putting her through an ordeal.
Sorry, the music suddenly is very loud. I'm just going to see if I can reduce.
Hasn't changed on my end, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I just couldn't hear Bucky for a minute. Sorry, could you repeat that?
I said, Hand, if I know Lotus, she will probably try and put a brave face on things, but if they've been depriving her of food and been putting her through an ordeal, it might be good to get some water and some food for her.
Look, I'll take something down. You start readying the horses. I'll be back.
I'm not good with horses. I am going to visit Lotus. I respect you, chieftain, in all due respect, but she is dear to me, and I'm sure you understand.
I was like, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Where's Jonathan at this point?
He stormed off onto his rooms, as far as you know. You can't see him here at the moment.
Should I follow Jonathan and let you go off towards the... Because I was going to try and just stealth down, give her some food, talk to her, then stealth back out. But I'm
like, Kalis is not so. Kalis is like, you can tell Kalis is slightly, like, he's not full on angry, but he's like usually easygoing, like, attitude is starting to show like cracks in. He's getting a little bit frustrated. There's only so much patience before. Yeah.
Okay. So Sagacious will put a hand on Kalis's chest and say, "I don't think we can. The king outright forbid it in front of everyone out there in that courtyard. The only way we'd be able to get her food is if we sneak it in there, and you're noticeable, my friend. In the best way possible. You are incredibly outstanding. And at this point, for her sake, we need to get this done as quickly as possible and come back. Because and they question her harder because of it.
Our mission was to make sure Ambassador is safe. Until I am sure of that, then our mission is also to ensure that Marcus is on the throne. It did not say anything about him liking us. So, in all due respect, I've extended him as much of my respect as I can, but in this matter, my loyalty lies elsewhere, and I have to see to my tribe first. I am sure you understand. And, like Mr. Mason says, there are not much guards. I don't think they can stop us, and I don't think they want to draw attention to that. And if the worst comes to the worst, I will remodel this castle. And with that, Kalis stomps to the kitchens to get some food for latest before.
Okay.
How are you walking, Hans? Do you need help to like? He's not going to leave you like staggering and stuff. But...
No, Sagacious Hand can walk. I'm just like, do you want me to come down with you, or
yeah,
should I
if you
stick
want to,
with Jonathan?
Wherever you, I think we should move together because it's safer in your condition. But if you wish it,
did you say that you left Tarala with?
May's offered to look care of her, so hopefully that goes well. Sorry, Jade Phoenix.
Yeah, I feel really bad about leaving her behind with Uncle unaccounted for. Oh, okay.
Do you want me to go back and get her?
No, she needs medical attention, and neither of us have it.
Yeah, I don't know how severe her injuries are. Kitchens out. What's the kitchens like?
If you go down to the kitchens, the kitchen staff will refuse to give you anything, and will try to actively impede you taking anything if you try.
Really?
Yes, really.
I am going to,
May I suggest inspiring compassion?
With, Kayla's as chieftain, you are the best at eliciting generosity from patrons, so please,
Sagacious Hand is going to step forward and bow with full respect to the serving staff of the evening. My apologies to you all. We have returned this morn to find everything in disarray. Allegations against our names that I assure you is not true. And I would ask that to think back to the things that happened last night. He keeps talking. I'm just gonna start making a basket full of stuff.
Are you stealing from them?
Yes. Well, I'm not stealing so much as I'm filling a basket up as I'm talking to them.
Unless you make a larceny roll to disguise what you're doing, they are going to try to stop you.
Yeah.
Don't you have a charm that lets you do that without stealing from plain sight or something?
I don't have that one. I have... one sec. I have... Yeah, I do! I do have stealing from plain sight, yeah! I have stealing from plain sight!
Activate it.
Yeah, just... Yeah. How much does it cost? 1 moment.
And I thought I had a group of heroes stealing from people. You have a whole city worth of people with food provisions outside the freaking gates. Why are you stealing from the poor kingdom?
Because that's going to take 30 minutes to an hour to get that food, to get it back to her.
Yeah, we're under arrest.
Yeah. And when you're under arrest, they have to give you bread and water, right?
No.
That's like...
No, this is modern day.
This is how my tribe work. We wouldn't let a prisoner. We show basic hospitality.
Yeah, interesting fact, like, streetwise, I've been in a few that have to give you basic provisions.
I will definitely support that fact.
And that excuses you just stealing from.
I mean, it's not stealing if they don't object to us having it.
They do object to you having it.
Well, why would they let us walk out with a basket, Elk? Why would they let us?
Because they didn't see you take it, because you're thieves.
And you know what? Like, if they really want, if they keep her in the dungeon long enough, she can give it back to them.
It's true.
So
I'm not objecting to you
can't-
stealing. I'm just pointing out that you're stealing. You're actively, actually stealing from poor, hungry people.
to give.
We had a massive feast last night. What's the leftovers? Yeah, is there any leftovers? Hungry.
Yeah. Sorry. The thing is, while I just try and find where this charm is. It's page 300 and something. I don't usually use my larceny charms. I've never found a reason. Now's a good time though. Stealing food to feed some people, but she did eat last night, I suppose. But then that may not be.
I mean,
she's
we're
not
mostly
like
here 'cause Kalis
starving
wants
or
food.
anything. Like,
Kalis wants some food, and this is why we're here. Like, basically.
Yeah. So
But
Okay,
kind of
so
also for Lotus.
I'm going to do a performance for, like, you know, as I speak on compassion of the castle, and that, you know, for them not to worry as we, we will get to the bottom of this, to thank them for the hospitality that they have already shown us, and now we shall depart, taking this shortcut towards the area we need to go. Thank you very much. As I bow, and the basket moves behind my back as I bow, and then it moves back around to the front of me as I exit the room, carrying a basket that is completely full with enough food to feed Kalis and myself and a horse and Righteous Lotus.
I can't believe this is happening.
Just like, oh.
I have cheese, I have bread, I have a bottle of wine.
Well, actually,
and
now that you
water,
ask,
I don't know.
the pickings are rather slim.
Cool, still taking it.
I'm just pointing out, like, they don't actually have a huge amount of food. I mean, they used most of it last night for the gala feast because they'd been preparing for it for some time. They'd had time to import.
Are we stealing from starving people? Well,
I just told you, you're stealing from poor people. What part of that didn't you understand?
Okay, listen, they weren't having on. They had a massive feast. Here's mine. This is a magical food place where they have food. Why else would you live in the cities? It wouldn't make any sense not to live in cities if they didn't have, like, unlimited food, right? Otherwise, you'd be living in the woods where you get food from.
Okay, so that's 6 motes.
Well,
it's all mute, so I'll spend it from my peripheral full.
Well, they can't stop you, but
so-
they basically just say, well, we have our marching orders, and I'm sure you have yours, so off you go then, and try to sort of shoo you out with a spoon.
Oh, they shoot it. Cadus will give them a withering look as if, like, really?
No,
The
off you
spoon.
go then.
Shrugs his soda, and then starts eating.
I'm so disappointed in you. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and take Kalis and I through the areas of the castle that I remember having less vision, like for stealthing, to try and, like, it's really hard to stealth you, but at least not be necessarily seen going in that general direction.
That's okay.
Part of me's like, why even bother?
All right, well, you're able to find your way
probably not
down to the
bother.
dungeons. There's not very many people here, but Lotus is in a cell. If you go near her, she'll look up at you and basically just not quite scream because she doesn't want to draw attention to the fact, but just basically, what in the 9 hells are you doing here?
Just looking at
Do
it
you
like,
understand how terrible this looks? What are you doing?
Oh, can we converse, like, or
If you like.
okay? It's like,
Are there any guards nearby?
No.
no.
Like literally, most of the castle guard, the military force, and everything that this kingdom has, like, they're dead. They've been sent on patrols and they have died. This is
we've
what
come
King
to,
Marcus admitted to last night.
Yeah, we've come to make sure you're safe and not harmed. So I've come to liberate you from your bad imprisonment. Obviously.
I just came to give you something to eat. Maybe
And we bought food. It was my suggestion.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
as
if
much
we
as I
take her
appreciate the gesture, this is a political nightmare. You should go. You should not be seen here. You shouldn't have even come. I don't want to know what happened last night. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. But just go. Just go. I will deal with the rest of it.
But we can't ensure your safety.
You can't assure my safety now. If you break me
I
out,
can just
if you break me
move to
out,
the-
then everything we've acted for is lost.
Is it? What was your brief? Our brief was to keep Marcus on the throne, sort out the problem, and make sure you're safe. I mean, we don't have to be friends with this neighborhood, do we?
Perhaps. But it would be wise not to make enemies. Kalis.
I mean, I'm a lot less concerned about making an enemy of a kingdom that has 5 soldiers in their army. That does not really fill me with terror, if I'm honest. Like, I mean, but what I am worried about is you coming to harm. What I suggest is I remove these grates from this place that you're being held, take you out to the circus. You'll be safe there, and then we can smooth over misunderstandings. We basically had the goddess vouch for us in a roundabout way, so I feel like we hold the moral high ground in this, and also we didn't do all the nasty things. Probably. I mean, I wasn't with you in the castle, but I like to think you didn't go killing people willy-nilly. Looks to hand for reassurance.
Hey,
She looks at
you're
hand.
the one sleeping with her. I can make any assertions onto murderous intent.
She reads intentions on you.
Kalis doesn't. He just looks at hand for like reassurance. He's taking a lot of blind faith, really.
The read intentions as to whether I think she killed someone or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whether you tried to kill anyone or not.
Oh, whether I tried to or whether...
Whether you tried to kill someone or not.
That's a really good question.
I'd like to remind you that as
because
far
it's-
as you're concerned, you did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but I didn't. I was at odds about it. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I was angry enough. Yeah. But good thing that my guile is at due to it is being pushed up to 8, but due to what's the word? Due to neg penalties, my guile is 4. So
All right, one moment. I'll double roll. Oh, sorry, that's right. The bot's not working. Sorry. I think that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. She gives you a winnowing look.
sorry, what did she get?
6.
Oh wow, good job. It's like, yeah. But he feels real bad about it.
I don't want to know what happened. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Just go. I'll deal with this.
Can you tell us who the lady from Crivier is?
Yes, I'd like to know who I've accused of killing.
They used a lot more colorful words than killing, my friend. Arrived late last night.
Yes, her name was Lorelei.
Was she perhaps blessed by the dragons?
No.
Hmm.
She arrived during the performance, I was told. Was taken upstairs. Didn't join us for dinner.
How long do Inspire actions last? Like the performance and all the Inspire scene?
Unless you're still, still creates intimacies. Inspire just residualizes. But they may still potentially convert them to...
Do what you need to do. Fix whatever is wrong with this country. So that we can leave. But until then, you are not breaking me out. The only way I'm leaving this cell is if Alexander Marcus himself asks for it.
Kalis rolls his eyes but nods and then looks to Skacia's hand to double check that. That's the decided course of action.
We understand your feeling. Good day, Righteous Lotus. We'll return as swift as possible.
Kalis, I will remind you that if you wish, because she has a defining intimacy towards you, you may use excellent friend approach on her if you desire.
That is true. It would be safer. Oh, gosh, what would Kalis do? 2 seconds while I have an internal monologue with Kalis totally would do that. You know, you would be a lot safer and comfortable in your own private quarters. And we may even be able to return you before anybody knows you have gone. You sure you don't want to come with?
Also, we might need someone to send message to the Excelsior, maybe.
She rolls her eyes and sort of just folds her arms. I think this is a bad idea. I really think this is a bad idea.
It is probably politically bad, but I'd much rather... my understanding is, unsure root, is it? Thinks in bigger pictures, right? This is only a small part of a larger performance. One act of...
Yeah, that's something I'm worried about, actually, is that if I'm going to get blowback from this onto the Excelsior, that, like, I'm not in favor of her staying here, but at the same time, politically speaking, I'm going to ask Righteous Lotus, what's the repercussions here of if we don't fix it on my company that's outside? Have they been embroiled in any of this, or are they safe because they're beyond the gate? I'm asking.
A king speaks with the strength of his whole country.
How strong is this country at the moment? If we don't fix the problem, are they going to even exist?
Well, that's precisely the problem, Kalis. We want them to exist.
Exactly. So if we restore the country, they're probably, hopefully, going to be at least grateful. Especially... No, wouldn't you? I don't...
If only human
Not
beings were so
necessary.
simple.
Do you think that you could convince him? If we managed to do the heavy lifting, and of course by we I mean Kalis, if we do the metaphysical heavy lifting, can you convince him?
There's that word again.
Marcus is a man of honor. If you have some sort of irrefutable proof, then he will have to relent and probably thank you for it. But you need evidence of something, some kind. Right now,
Yeah.
everything points against you. Do you have anything that could maybe cast some doubt upon these accusations being flung by the prince?
We know somebody that contains his sorceress tome. He has a room that is apparently full of potions and stuff. He's probably cleaned that room, though. I imagine that would be the first thing you do, right? Is the
Well, as
particular room?
far as I know, it's not against the law for the prince to practice sorcery in a cupboard.
Why, if it was like, why would he hide his room? Why would he hide it if it was, you know?
He's a prince. He has every
Acceptable.
right to do whatever the hell he wants.
No,
No.
he doesn't. There's laws and, you know, expectations of chieftain sons. You can't just do what you want, and that is the problem. He probably has done exactly what he wants, and this is why we're in this miasma of a mess. Gosh, I feel like I'm gonna have to be in many places to, like, tell people things that you should and shouldn't do. Simple things you tell children. Anyway, it's decided. We are taking you out for a walk then.
She does
Right,
flush a
Captain?
little. Fine.
I'm just gonna rip the gate. I'll bend it. I'll just bend it. I don't need to like pull the whole grate
I'll
off.
not bother getting you to roll for it. Yeah, just you have the strength. Just. Oh. She steps out. The bars clang to the ground as you drop them. The other prisoners, well, there's only 3 or 4 of them, start going, hey, what are you doing? Like, bring us out too, man. Bring us out too.
Hey guys, what you in for?
Yeah, that's Leo. What the?
I'm going to activate for free, like the receptibility, like the seasoned criminal method.
Oh,
like,
amazing!
hey man, what you in for? And like, you know, you can tell me. I'd like to know what these guys are in here for.
They totally admit
Maybe
to a slew of crimes that totally justifies their incarceration.
See, okay, is this a new scene?
Well, if it is,
This is a new
your thingy, your spurious presence is turned off.
That's gonna be my question. Yeah. Okay.
I do not think these are the kind of people you want in your performances. You're very bad people. You should remain here.
But so
well-
are you. Breaking people out. Bring us out too, man. Come on.
Look, if they wanted her to stay here, they would have put more sturdier, secure.
Yeah,
I would
exactly. Just break them down, or what are you? Chicken?
Kalis will do a performance of like, oh, this. I'm trying my hardest, my friends. I'm trying. No, he's not.
I would like to make an inspire roll.
Yes.
After listening to the myriad of one moment.
I've had a few interruptions tonight, viewers. I'm really sorry.
I would like to make an inspire action based on all of the horrible things that they've. Hang on.
Oh, I think someone's in trouble.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Sorry, I've lost all train of thought. I'm making an inspire roll for them to be a better people, as in like thinking of their past crimes that they've done to recall and like, was that really the best choice of action that you had at that point in time. I'll pause because Plucky's got moose hands.
Maybe Instill Entombment might be more better than Inspire, because
No,
Inspire's temporary.
No, I'm inspiring to then use that inspire action to then make an instill roll to bump it to defining with that instill.
Well, first of all, you'd have to give them a minor. Then you'd have to upgrade it to major.
I am going to inspire them with a major. I'm then going to instill them to be better people at a minor, and then I'm going to redo it again to make it a major, and that is still tagging off both of those to increase it to defining. I'm going to spend 15 to 20 minutes while Kalis fills in Righteous Lotus on what has happened in the meantime, because she needs to get this information. So that's what I'm going to do. The group of criminals, I'm going to inspire them, like, to think of their past acts, really question why they undertook the actions that they did, to then inspire them, like, to strive to be the best. They can be better versions of themselves, and tagging it off, like, compassion and change. And
you would need to, like, up the ante twice. So how would you do that? I reference their, like, because part of their crimes that they said, oh, well, you know, we're starving. And I'm like, well, you know, what would your daughter that you stole this loaf of bread to help, like, what would she think about you if you remained in this sort of life? And to then up the ante of, even worse, what would your mother say to head it to defining? Like, no, you can do better than that.
All this over a loaf of bread?
You can do better than that. No, I'm not going to allow that one.
You didn't give me much to work on. Then I talk about maps and making your mark on history, and, you know, where the size that Kaldor is, and the size that the world is, and the possibilities that could exist beyond the gates of Kaldor, that perhaps all they need is a new start to be better than where they are now. Education is what's held them back to have turned into this life of crime. So I up the ante by suggesting it was not malicious intent that caused them to commit these crimes. It was desperation. And so the first one is targeting their desperation and speaking to the desperation, speaking to why they've why they committed the crimes in the first place, to then up the ante to talk about that it was ignorance, and inspire them perhaps to find an education to better themselves beyond that.
You know that this sets a dangerous precedent if I allow this.
Yeah. Want to give me more to go on? Do you want to give me their names, their backstories, the you know, I have nothing to go on.
I've got a plan.
They would like 3 to 4 random people I just inserted into this scene. I don't know any of this information.
If I set them up for you to knock them down, would you be happy for that compromise?
Yeah, look, I don't know how to knock them down at this point, so yeah.
How about...
This is how...
Hang on. How about... And I'm going to give you this one, but I'm not going to give you stunt die for it. Because I'm giving it to you.
Can I put my suggestion out first, or is that...
Sure. Go.
Okay. It seems that you have made poor life choices, as Chieftain says. But Chieftain is wise and smart and knows that there is goodness in all, if given the proper stage to play upon. So, if we can find a way to free you from these bonds, you will have to promise that you spend the rest of the day atoning under our wise guidance.
In fact, Sagacious Hand uses a heel to kick open the wooden cupboard door behind him, revealing all the guard uniforms that aren't being worn because everyone's dead. I hear the kingdom is in need of some assistance. Now is the time you could prove yourselves.
That sounds like a bargain. I will allow a bargain.
What is that?
So it's like a persuade action, but instead of targeting intimacy, you basically give them something they want. I'll let you out if you do this.
I'm assuming that, like, Sagacious Hand's going to eclipse Ophit. That's why I was, like, setting them up for a sanctified by heaven kind of, But this is
Would I
really...
have to do each one individually, or is it like a group?
I would just allow the group in this particular instance.
But I still think it's a terrible idea. But I trust Sagacious Hand.
Hello, 3 to 4 random prisoners. Have you tried not being criminals? Let's see.
Since you did stunt this, I will give you a 1-point stunt. You will be rolling manipulation plus presence.
Okay. So that was there was a 1-point stunt, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Manipulation plus presence. Yep. Okay. And I'll spend a willpower. I have rolled 4 successes.
All right, that's enough to defeat their resolve. So they're going to accept this bargain.
And 5. Yeah.
They're going to accept this bargain. If you let them out, they totally promise that they'll put on those guard uniforms and help the kingdom.
Okay, like, if you don't, Karma's gonna kick you in the butt. You know this, right? You're accepting that as a condition.
Oh yeah, totally.
You understand that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. As like the hand leans down to like shing, but imperceptible, to like throw the uniforms at them. All right. Good luck.
Are you boinging them?
Yep.
Okay, that's 7 motes and 1 willpower.
Yep. 7 motes.
Isn't it
I thought
7
it was
or is it
10.
5?
I think it's 10.
It's 10.
10 motes it is. So, to summarize today's bonus session, Jonas has escaped your clutches with the evidence against against Jonathan. You
Can you make out that Jonas is a bad guy? I don't think he is.
You have faced down Alexander Marcus publicly and gotten the backing of Formica against him. You have convinced King Marcus and Jonathan that Jonathan, with a guard, should accompany you to the estate. And so he's gone off to get ready for that. You've gone down into the kitchens, stolen food to come in and give to Righteous Lotus. You've then broken Righteous Lotus out of jail, and you've broken out these other people who've done horrendous things and convinced them to take up the guard's uniform and help Kaldor, and Eclipse binded them into that oath.
We are terrible guests. I just keep on coming back to this, but we are bad guests.
Yeah, and that's where we leave today's session. Now, depending on circumstances, we might be able to pick up in about an hour or so. So if anyone is still around at that time, we'll be picking back up again. We'll just be streaming so that we can continue. Otherwise, thank you very much, everybody. Have a very good night, and we'll probably see you again sometime soon. Cheers.
Thanks for watching.